Ghost, friendliest ghost you know. You didn't know that I could sing too, did you, Zach?
No, that could have been the whole episode.
You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Welcome, moviegoers of all ages. Happy Tuesday, film fans. You're listening to episode 367. You're listening to Casper. It's a brand new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Juan, and I am joined by the other trio-friendly ghost, Satch.
What's going on, guys? How is everyone?
It is, Zach. I don't see how you just seem so down in the dumps right now. It's a Tuesday night, Oklahoma City. We are talking Casper. It's another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Fall's in the air. We are just about a week away from October. It's that time of year, Zach.
Yes, it is. Get your horror movies out, get your popcorn out, and just enjoy it.
Oh, the smell of physical
The
media is just unbelievable. If you guys do not know me in physical media, look at this. I have a whole box that I still have to go through and organize in the back of this mess here. This is not a CGI poster behind me. This is real life issues.
It's a very one-sided relationship, let's be honest.
If you guys do not know how in-depth we are in physical media, go check back in the archives. We have a whole episode about physical media. Last week, we had an episode about mud. It was a fantastic, fantastic episode. It's our themed year, all about Matthew McConaughey. It's our McConaissance, and we are just hanging out. So I cannot wait that we are hanging out and talking about movies here tonight. We're talking about Casper, the 1995 version. 30 years ago, this movie came out. 30 years, I cannot believe how old this movie is. Can't believe how old I am. And Zach, what else is 30? Is the year 1995. We're talking about our top 5 favorite 1995 movies. So if you want to go back and listen to any of the episodes in the archives, just go back and listen to last week's episode. Check out our social media pages. On our social media page, you can find all of our links. Facebook.com/The Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Instagram /Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The X, formerly known as Twitter, Cine-Men405. Or you can just send us a good old-fashioned email. CINEMEN921 You got mail. And there you can check out all of our past episodes, all 366 of them. I can't believe next week, Zach, is already the last week of September.
It's going by fast. It seems like every time I turn around, we're doing a new
month already. We'll talk about next week's episode here before too long, but let's not keep everybody waiting. Zach, do you have any recent watches that you want to recommend anybody real quick?
No, just my I started my rewatch of Stranger Things to get ready for the new season, or the final season, I guess. That starts in November, actually the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So
Nice.
I'm only like 2 episodes in, but it's gonna be a fun rewatch. So that's my main recent watch. What about you?
I checked out Until Dawn on Netflix. Yawn, terrible.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind it, but I didn't have much expectation for it, so I guess it was a little bit more of a surprise than I thought.
I rewatched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's always a good one to watch this time of year. Rewatched the Batman. I can't, even though it's 3 hours long, I can't. It's so good.
Can't stand it. You just love it.
Atonement, James McAvery and Keira Knightley. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. It's one of those movies that makes you sit and think for like 15 minutes after it's over.
There you go.
And you know what, Zach? I've had that movie for 10 years.
You
Never,
just now
never, just now watched it. And then I checked out Casper for today's episode. So if you guys want to check out all of my personal recent watches or this thing called My Life, visit the Instagram. It's all one word / Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Let's talk our top 5. This is going to be fun. Top 5 favorite movies from 1995. I can't wait to get a hold of this list and share it with you. I'm going to rapid fire just like I have been. I think it's kind of fun unless we're spending a quality, spending quality time with the top 5. The top 5 is usually somebody like to get in and get out. So a few of my, I only have one honorable mention, and I'm going to say Mallrats. You have an honorable mention, Zach?
No honorable. So like I'm a bad co-host because I literally just made this list like as you're talking about your recent watches. I forgot we were doing a top 5. I was like, oh, hold on, let me Google 1995 movies real quick.
So I'm gonna
I got 5.
I'm gonna rapid fire through mine, and then we can talk about yours. Friday is a fun film from 1995. So many memorable lines in that movie. Toy Story is number 4 for me. Heat is number 3. 7 is number 2. And my favorite movie from 1995, Casino.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
So I will actually have one honorable mention. Honorable mention is going to be Congo.
That's a good movie.
Don't even do it. I know you want to, so don't even try it.
Amy.
So number 5, my number 5 will be Pocahontas.
Oh, that came out in 95?
Yeah. Number 4, Jumanji. Number 3, Babe. Number 2, Balto, and my number 1 would be Toy Story.
You got a thing for animals there, Zach.
It was a very animal centric year. So it looks like looking back at 95.
Yeah.
But you know what else was centric that year was Ghosts.
Oh, Ghost was 9. No, wait a minute. Ghost was 92.
No, not the movie Ghost, but just like the theme of Ghosts.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Ghosts, if you guys want to share your top 5 movies from 1995, hit us up. Email cinemen921@gmail.com or hit us up on the Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter. Somebody's always watching and somebody will always reply. So yeah, a big shout out to Steve and Cassandra. You guys have won the $100 San Marcos gift certificates. So that was an anniversary.
Yeah.
That was an anniversary show giveaway, and you guys not only tied, but you guys have 150, and the other one has 50 to San Marcos gift certificates. It's a lot of margaritas. So let's dig into what we're talking about today. Today we're talking all about Casper from 1995. Currently, right now, it has a 6.2 on IMDb, a 53% on Rotten Tomato, a 49% Metascore, 3.1 out of 5 on the Letterboxd. I don't get this release date. With a May 26th, 1995 release date, the budget was $55 million and it grossed a little over $288 million at the box office. An afterlife therapist and his daughter meet a friendly young ghost when they move into a crumbling mansion in order to rid the premises of wicked spirits. Starring Bill Pullman, Christina Ricci, Kathy Morty, Eric Idle. You also have a cameo in there from some other actors. Mr. Rogers, Brad Garrett, Devin Imosawa, and directed by Brad Silberling. So, yeah, you guys can check this movie out. It is 30 years old this year. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. We're talking about Casper right now. Zach, you said you weren't a very big fan of this, so do you remember the first time you watched it, and what was it like revisiting it for the episode?
So I'll be honest. I think this is a movie that I pretty much blocked out of my memory because, like, on this watch, I there was only like one thing in particular that I remember was like the dad being a ghost and the trio of the ghost uncles. Um, I think this is a film that, as a kid, they tried to like force feed down my throat when I was in daycare or whatever. And I was just not having it, so I kind of like had no interest in watching it. I didn't care about it. Just had no appeal to me whatsoever. And so you said it's 30 years old this year. Let's review it. And I'm just like, oh, great. It's not a bad movie. It's definitely it's definitely a 90s kid movie, to say the least. So yeah, that I don't know if that's good, bad, in the middle. It's fine. We'll find out. But what about you? When was the first time you saw it?
I saw this probably the year it came out. I was probably 5 or 6. I had the VH. This is one of those probably few movies that I had the VHS, the DVD, and now the Blu-ray. And it is, it's childhood friendly classic. I liked it. Um, it wasn't one of those movies though that I had to watch every fall or every kid spooky season. This past rewatch, honestly, I kind of laughed out loud a lot. There's a lot of jokes in this movie that obviously now you don't get when you're a kid, but I got tremendously now. I thought
Mhm.
it I thought it was pretty funny all the way around. I will say there is some times where I'm like watching my phone or playing on my phone, like, okay, this is where I kind of don't enjoy it. Let's speed up. So let's hang out and let's talk about it now for a little bit. Casper from 1995 is is the conversation for today. Um, I like the opening. The two kids hanging out, trying to sneak into the mansion. Casper's trying to be all friendly, and
Mhm.
they freak out. You have the old school tune from the 30s. Zach, I'm surprised with you being a 30s and a 40s cartoon fan and a 50s cartoon fan that you weren't. Were you big on Casper the Friendly Ghost?
No. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know that this like now I knew it was based off like a comic strip or something like that or a comic book. But back then I had no idea. So and I didn't care about the movies, so I didn't go back and rewatch like the animated shows that they made. But yeah, I knew it was based off a comic, but it just never it didn't um help the situation none whatsoever.
Interesting. This movie also, even though they're not really related, this movie cast off 2 sequels: Casper: A Spirited Beginning in 1997, and then Casper Meets Wendy in 1998 with Hilary Duff. So
Which we're talking about next week, right? Just want to make
terrible.
sure.
Um, but yeah, no. So and then you get introduced to the antagonists of the film, which is Kerrigan and
Mhm.
the lawyer Dibbs, who I gotta say, being a grown up now, I kind of adored Dibbs in this movie a lot more than I used to when I was younger. And the bullyism and the attitude he had to put up with Kerrigan, I'm like, oh, these like a Dumb and Dumber almost kind of they just mesh.
Yeah. It was almost kind of like and that was I feel like that was a trope back in the 90s where you had like some like rich heiress or some, someone that's trying to get their ultimate goal is to get like a fortune of some kind, and the
Yeah,
kids have got to try to stop it. I feel like that was like a major 90s trope in kids movies back then.
yeah, and I didn't know whether to think of him as the lawyer, a lover, or what. But I thought them going back and forth. He felt like he was her lawyer. What about you?
Yeah, I would agree. In the speaking of, in the like the old Warner Brothers cartoons where you have like the smart short person but the tall dumb person. I feel like it was that kind of duo,
Yeah,
The woman's like bossing him around and he's like there was a lot of slapstick Three Stooge comedy in this.
Yeah.
which I wasn't really prepared for, so it kind of threw me off while watching it.
Ben Stein is kind of a he's like in the first 5 minutes he plays the guy who reads off the estate to Kerrigan. He's the Clear Eyes guy. If you guys don't know who Ben Stein is, Clear Eyes, or he is
Bueller.
the teacher in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Okay,
He was also in The Mask too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh
that's the
my.
guy that didn't believe Jim Carrey that the mask comes to life.
Yeah. Oh, he's say what you will about Ben Stein and being Clear Eyes. He is just, I don't know.
That guy's had like the weirdest career. He's like showed up in like a billion different movies.
Underrated, and he's typecasted. Nobody tries to have him do something he doesn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What if they're like in the Ben Stein Renaissance? He goes on to win an Oscar or something like that.
Guess what next year's about, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
So let's talk about the early going cameos. They're like, this house is being haunted. You see the little throwback to The Exorcist. You see the Ghostbusters
cinematic universe. Yep.
Which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, oh my, it's so good that you get to see that, because it almost in today's era, that's taboo. Because Universal, Ghostbusters isn't even a Universal movie.
No, and I'm surprised they were able to get away with that back then. Honestly, I think today,
like I said, taboo.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest. No, back then it would be taboo. I think now it would be much more accepted because of all just like we have multiverses and crossovers and all that type of stuff. Like if.
Yeah, but these are two different film companies, and of course, Sony would want their money. So I don't know how much is that, that Ghostbuster cameo really would have been.
Yeah, that's true.
This
is the 8th highest grossing film of 1995.
That's crazy to me. $300 million is a lot of money back then.
Yeah,
that's a big opening.
The highest grossing film of that year was Die Hard with a Vengeance, and ultimately its worldwide gross was almost 400 million. So that was back in the day where like $500 million like box office. That's like $1 billion back then. Yeah. It's like huge.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's the one with Samuel Jackson, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
you ever seen those all the way, all of them?
Yep. Good. Believe it or not, I've seen all the Die Hard movies.
Good. And I gotta say, the Ghostly Trio, Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso, the toys were phenomenal back in the day. I had all three of those, and the Casper ghost. They were probably like about 2 foot tall, and I remember Stinky. You could squeeze him, and he would burp, and you could smell something funky. Stretch obviously stretched. Fatso was just a fat ghost, and then Casper, nothing normal about him. I think he glue in the dark at night. I had one of those. So, I gotta say, being a lot older, I really appreciate the chemistry now between Dr. Harvey and Kat, Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that duo? What do you think about the chemistry in the movie? They really did feel like a father and daughter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's I think it's the kid's a smart one and the parents being the kind of the bumbling idiot, but there's a lot of like mature themes in this movie. Like I was surprised, like them bringing back like the dead mom's like ghost. Like they really tried to like amp that up at one point.
Oh, whenever Fatso was dressed up and kissed him.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they're really going for that.
That's dark.
Yeah, and I was surprised that there was a couple of hells and dams in this as well. For it to be, is this PG or G?
It is.
I think it's PG.
Yeah, it's PG.
Yeah.
Oh, not also. There is also two B words in the movie.
Yep.
Because
So
when Kerrigan dies and becomes a ghost, she says she's the bee is back, and then Dibs is like, I'm gonna get a dog and name it Kerrigan, just like the bee you are.
yeah,
Um,
like wow,
would you
that's surprising.
you know what I gotta say really hit me in this movie?
What?
Now that I have a kid, is the scene where Casper explains to Kat how he died.
Hmm.
That he was just a little boy and he got pneumonia. That scene hit me hard. Tears.
Yeah, and that's a much more darker interpretation of the character than the comics and the cartoons and the little theatrical shorts.
Yeah.
Like it's like way tragic than what's in the comics.
What do you think? What do you think? Because obviously we talked about Conjuring a few weeks ago, and this is I'm not saying this is the same universe, but
The
let's
Conjuring, Casper.
let's say ghosts for being really forgetful and not knowing maybe how they died or maybe not knowing how certain things happened in their life. And then in this movie, I got something that was talked about also in Ghost with Patrick Swayze, the
Mhm.
whole unfinished business thing. How you don't cross over, you don't go to the light if you stay back because you do have unfinished business. I want to know, where does that come from? Do you think that's scientifically like maybe tried to brought to an attention? Because it was brought up in numerous movies. It still kind of is today about ghosts lingering back. Zach, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you believe in ghosts? And where do you think they found maybe some theories like that to back it up?
You know, I'm not gonna say that ghosts aren't real, but I feel like there's not like enough quote
Evidence?
unquote scientific evidence to support it. Um, the whole you can't cross over until you have unfinished business. Even like Soul, the Pixar movie Soul, they even did that to an extent. I think that was like a 90s thing that started with Ghost, and there may have been like movies prior to that that had that theme, but I think Ghost is like the main start point for that, because after that it was kind of like it's not just, oh, he's a ghost, like, joking around and terrorizing people. There's got to be a purpose to it now.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. Yep. Hmm.
So, but yeah,
Every Conjuring movie ever, essentially.
I was sitting there thinking about that, and I'm like, man, this unfinished business thing is, and I love that scene. That's probably going to go in my favorite scenes, is where Kerrigan is watching the hard copy. Do you remember that show?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
and
Yeah. I remember that.
that little piece that they put together, I'm like, man, that was some good stuff. I really did like that scene. What'd you think of the trio fight scene where he eventually sucks him up into the vacuum cleaner and they go back and forth for a little bit when they meet each other for the first time?
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of slapstick humor to this, but when he sucks up the trio, I think that might be one of the better parts of the movie, because it's so ridiculous to the point of like, if they were just ghosts, wouldn't they just like go through the vacuum? You know what I mean? So like the
Yeah,
logistics of it don't make any sense.
and
But
that's what I found myself thinking too. I'm like, wait a minute, can't they just go through walls?
objects,
What did you think of
but
what'd you think of the Clint Eastwood, Rodney Dangerfield, Mel Gibson cameos? What'd you think of those?
I like that. That was hysterical. That reminded me of a little bit of like, you remember in Bruce Almighty where he says, if he's God, then I'm Clint Eastwood," and he starts acting like Clint Eastwood. I felt like that was a callback in Bruce Almighty to Casper to a sense.
Um, yeah, man, this did big time numbers and stuff, and
Why did they release it during Memorial Day weekend? I
you
don't
know what
understand that.
I think it was I think that they had high hopes for this movie, and I mean, obviously, almost $300 million. Um, I think this is one of the movies that kicked off that year's summer blockbuster hits.
I'm looking that up right now because I'm curious to see what was the big movies that came out this summer.
I'm surprised this is the first feature film to have fully computer generated visual effects in a
Yeah.
character in a leading role. So
Which is weird. I guess as a main character, I mean, because Jurassic Park was before this, but the dinosaurs were not like the main character. So, I mean, to that extent, I kind of agree. Die Hard with a Vengeance came out a week before this, or 2 weeks before this. Braveheart was the same day. It came out 2 days before Casper. Congo was a couple weeks after that. Batman Forever was the next month.
oh, that wasn't on my list.
Yeah. Oh, darn. And we just talked about that this year.
We did. I can't believe we had an episode about Batman Forever
You forgot about it.
that Zach was a part of.
Pocahontas, Apollo 13, which is in theaters right now. Dude, you forgot about the Mighty Morphin's Power Ranger movie. That came out the same year too. So yeah,
that's a big year.
Yeah, there was a lot. In July, there was The Indian in the Cupboard. You remember that?
I got that on Blu-ray.
Clueless, Free Willy 2, Operation Dumbo Drop.
That's a good movie.
Waterworld. So yeah, there was a lot that came out that summer.
Zach's like, oh damn it, that could have been in my list.
No, half those movies didn't make my list.
You know what? You know what? The scene that starts kind of dragging for me is when Casper remembers the Lazarus, which is the machine that's supposed to bring somebody back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerrigan hears about the treasure. That's where the movie kind of slows down for me.
When they get to the underground laboratory, that's when it slowed down.
Yeah. And now anytime
didn't they use that machine that Casper can use to come back? Didn't they use that in the last Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Wasn't that a thing in that? I'm almost certain it was.
I don't know. I've only seen Frozen Empire once, and to me it was just kind of eh.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But I know, like in one of those Ghostbusters movies, I feel like they used that type of machinery. But I can't remember which one it was.
Zach, you'd be proud of me when I got rid of some movies this week. You know my rule is like, oh, I have 2, I need all of them. I got rid of the 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh, the one with the female one, the Melissa McCarthy one. Yep. Oh, is that really a loss? Let's be honest.
But you know how I am.
I know. You got to have all of them if you have one of them.
Yeah. So that's a big step for me. It's like an AA meeting.
Well, if I don't think you can get rid of any of your A24 collection. If one of them goes, then just like you immediately got to turn around and buy it again.
Nope. The girlfriend was like, "Are you gonna get rid of any of the?" Because I was like, I was bragging. I was like, "Yeah, I got like 91 A24 movies." And she was like, "Are you gonna go through any of those?" And before she finished the sentence, I was like, "Nope."
Have you got Materialist yet?
No.
I found it.
Walmart has all of them.
They don't have Materialists. They still don't have it yet.
I saw it at the one here in where I'm at.
Oh, in Yukon?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Got to drive 100 miles away.
Yeah, I didn't like the scene where they start going underground, even though the scene where Dibs is in the shaving chair and the blades come down and he's like this. I lost it.
Like, wouldn't his throat be cut if he went through something like that?
But it was so funny. I'm just sitting there and he's going back and forth, like moving, like he's gonna karate chop it.
That was, that whole, I don't know what you would call invention thing. I feel like that was a nod to Temple of Doom when Short Router is like in the wagon going through the caves.
I mean, that could have been. That's all Universal.
And Spielberg was a producer on this. So I was like, what?
I know. That's why you agreed to watch it. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, it said Amblin at the beginning. I was like, okay, I know Spielberg's a part of this. Let's see where his name pops up.
You're like I at least know he listened to the movie.
So I gotta give this a star somewhere. So
Yeah. So you know what else is just funny is when Casper gets into the Lazarus and he tries to become a human. He's like, "This is it. I'm gonna be alive." And then Kerrigan takes out the bottle of juice and he's a fried egg sitting there.
yeah.
You laughed. Tell me you didn't laugh at that.
No, I laughed. I won't deny you that pleasure in that situation.
Let's talk about let's. I don't know when we'll talk about her again, but let's talk about Christina Ricci.
Okay.
She was huge in the '90s. She had the Addams Family and the Addams Family values. She started dishing out, this middle teenage kind of roles, and then she kind of just
Fell off.
fell off.
Yeah. It was weird.
Do you
Well,
think? Do you think that's just young Hollywood, or do you? I mean, she kind of. It's not. I don't think she got into like bad drugs or anything, did she?
I don't think so. I think she just kind of uh keep talking. I'm gonna look at her like thing real quick. I'm gonna
Because
see if there's anything.
she did the Addams Family in 1991, and then she did Addams Family's Values in '93.
Mm-hmm.
She did some Saturday Night Live sketches, and then she did Casper in '95. Um, After that, she kind of, I'm not one to say, did some little to no movies, but after that, her next biggest movie was '98, and that was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Uh,
Yeah.
she she voiced the Gwendy doll in Small Soldiers. Um, and then the next, she did Sleepy Hollow in '99. Okay, so
That
maybe
was a
she
big
was.
that was a big movie.
Yeah, so it looks like she just kind of maybe by her own doing, and then she did Monster in 2003, which was phenomenal.
Yeah. And
So
Curse was 2 years after that. You remember that movie?
I don't, but I know she did Black Snake Moan too, which I've never seen.
Speed Race. I don't remember. I haven't seen Speed Racer, but I forgot. I don't even. I guess I didn't even know she was in that.
And
Uh,
then you can check her out now on season 1 and 2 of Wednesday on Netflix.
yeah.
What do you,
Which I
what do you
mean,
think? Tim Burton never forgets his own. We'll talk about Tim Burton in a few weeks when we talk about Frankenweenie. But I gotta say, mass respect for Tim Burton. Don't you think, for never ever forgetting his people?
no. And the thing is, and we'll talk about it with Frankenweenie because he uses a lot of the same people in that movie. He has like a core group of actors that he likes to work with, which is fine because you can almost guarantee Helena Bonham Carter will show up. Johnny Depp will show up in some points.
What do you,
It's kind of interesting.
I think we'll save it for that episode, but it's got to be Tim Burton bringing Johnny Depp back out from the depths of where he was, right?
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
You got to believe that's the first director he works with after all of his drama that just happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't unless someone like a Tarantino or I don't know. I could see him working with Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't know why. For some reason, I think that duo could work. Um, yeah, he needs someone like big name recognition to bring him back from the depths.
So, Casper finishes up. Obviously, Casper, he gets his like 5 minutes of fame, almost like a Cinderella like story. He even points it out because the angel, the mom, that's also kind of, I know it's kind of a telling story. It's sad. Bill Pullman finally gets to see his wife one last time, and
There's a
you know
little
they,
cheese to it. I'll admit.
they didn't really explain how or why she died, right?
No, it just it just said that she passed away, but it didn't really say exactly why.
What'd you think of that whole, one last dance? Can I keep you? What'd you think of that?
That was and maybe that was the point of it. It felt very Pinocchio, where he wants to be a real human for a short amount of time before he has to go back to being a ghost or a puppet or whatever. And the mom's having the strings to the puppet. No, I don't know why. I felt like that young kid who portrayed the human version of Casper looked like a very, very young Heath Ledger, but I know it wasn't him.
That was Devin
Um,
Siwa,
oh yeah.
the guy from that was the guy from Final Destination,
Which one?
the
The
first one.
first one?
Yeah, the blonde kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. So no, I mean it works, but I felt like we have to tug at the heartstrings at some point. So let's just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I thought the ending was kind of cheese, but I think it worked. And so yeah, I think it worked. Do you have a favorite scene from Casper?
The cameos of Mel Gibson and Rodney Dangerfield was fun. The trio of the Uncle Ghosts are slapsticky, but I will. It's fun. Um, I think one of the how you hear on the Blu-ray DVD features or whatever, like you see like if it's something with big special effects, the actors are usually like looking at a tennis ball or whatever. You
Yeah.
can in this, like when you see Christina Ricci, there are moments where like you can tell she's not looking in the right direction where Casper's supposed to be. And so like her eye line doesn't match up for where the visual effects are. But that's just me nitpicking. It's a kids movie. So, what are you going to do? What about you?
Favorite scenes, anytime the trio is trash talking Cat or Dr. Harvey, I think they're fun. Just the names that they have for the humans, like Fleshy, I think those are just those are fun.
Bag of bones.
The scene where they're eating and Casper's cleaning up after they're eaten. That's fun. Where Dr. Harvey dies, and they're trying to kill him, but they're like, we can't. That's funny. Yeah. And then I gotta say, my guilty pleasure would probably be the back and forth sometimes of Dibs and Kerrigan, and then when Kerrigan dies. So, and I gotta say, sometimes the movie might be cheese. Let's talk about Casper and/or movies that maybe like Twilight, but the score, this score, whenever she falls asleep and Casper's like kind of stalking, glancing over her, and you hear that like that rhythm of that piano going.
James Horner.
That's a good score.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, let's talk favorite scenes. I'm going to be kind of probably generous just because I grew up with this movie. I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 5. This doesn't have a rewatchability to it like I want to watch it every year, but I'll probably glance at it maybe. I look back on my memories on social media, and the last time I watched this was when I actually got the 25th anniversary steelbook. So I probably once every 5 years. So
yeah, so that came out during COVID in 2020.
Yep. So, but yeah, what about you? I give it a 3.
Part of me thinks that we were going to do that in 2020. We were going to do this movie in 2020, but maybe it got bumped for something else. Maybe.
Probably.
Because back then we were on a roll, like doing bonus episodes and doing all kinds of stuff.
We had nothing else to do during COVID.
I'm probably going to get some hate mail. I'm going to give it a 2. It's not bad. It is what it is. It's a 90s kids movie. It's something I didn't grow up with. I was aware of it. It was force fed. Like people will say, "Oh, you'll like Casper." No, I didn't. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But there was something, I'll just say it was kind of poetic to go back and kind of close that chapter. Not chapter, but just that moment in my life where it's just like I didn't want to watch it. I was like, you know what? It's not a bad movie, but I'll never watch it again. So I'm gonna give it a 2.
Nice. Man, that's just a little taste of these fall themed movies before we get on to October in 2 weeks. Next week is our final episode of September. And next week,
A24, Denzel Washington, and Spike Lee. What all in the same sentence?
giggity, giggity, giggity.
Have you watched it yet?
I'm excited. No, I usually save the subject matter viewing for the Sunday before. So I am very, very excited to check out Highest to Lowest, now streaming on Apple TV Plus. So next Tuesday, September 30th, get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So
I'm gonna rewatch it before the show because it's been like about a month and a half since I've seen it. So
did you check it out in theaters?
yep.
Good.
Oh.
So yeah, it'll be a good episode. I can't wait to discuss that with you next week. Zach, before we put Casper in the grave, any final comments you want to talk about the unfinished business?
See, folks, this is why we pay him the big bucks. You pull something out from the episode and bring it back to the end. No, it is what it is. I will say I'm really surprised, especially since we're going into Halloween or spooky season. This is not streaming anywhere like for free unless you want to pay like $3 to watch it.
It's
Universal, so I thought it would at least been on Peacock.
Which is weird. There has to be a reasoning behind that. Didn't you say this is also produced by Amblin?
Yeah. But maybe it's one of those things that like, well, since it's Halloween, we'll bring Casper out of the vault for October.
I don't even think they do that though. Because the Universal monster movies, are those on Universal all year round?
No. But it is, if you love this movie, or if you're a fan of it as a kid, or you grew up with it but didn't get to see it in the theater, here's your chance. Next Friday, October the 3rd, it will be re-released for its 30th anniversary in theaters.
Oh, wow.
So they'll be shown at the Warren and I'm sure everywhere else around the metro area. So if you didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, here's your chance.
That's interesting. Yeah, September is pretty much done. So October the 7th, we bring out spooky season. We're talking about Fright Night, the 2011 version of Fright Night. To me, maybe the more superior version. Zach,
Mm-hmm.
I almost swore we did this.
No,
Or we were going to.
I think we were going to, but it got bumped for something else.
So that's October the 7th. We're talking Fright Night. October the 14th, our Matthew McConaughey continues. We're talking Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation.
You are. I'm not, but you are.
No, you are. You. If you can do Batman Forever, this is going to be a me and you conversation.
Ugh.
Renee Zellweger, Matthew McConaughey, October 14th. October 21st, we're talking The Monster from 2016, I believe, A24. And then we're going to finish out spooky season October 28th with Frankenweenie.
Oh, yeah.
So
it is a packed month.
Different movies. It's unlike any horror movie season or any spooky season we've ever done.
Yeah, most of the time it's always been like, hey, we're going to do Halloween to get ready for the new Halloween or whatever. Or it's like a bunch of...
It's almost like we got a psychological thriller, a slasher, a creature film, and a kids movie.
Yep. Very genre bending.
Yeah. So I can't wait for October. It's going to be a fun month. Next week, Zach, highest to lowest, and we rank our top 5 movies of 2025 so far. I cannot wait for that list. It should be a jam-packed episode, a phenomenal episode. Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, and A24 all in the same episode. I can't wait. We'll see you next week for another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.
Later.
Hook 'em.